Hello everyone, today is August 11th, welcome to Cat's Eye Insights. In our last episode, we asked, with economic growth slowing and the government running a deficit, why are public sector wages still rising as scheduled? The government might respond. We aren't asking ordinary people to tighten their belts alone. We have also started streamlining government and reducing staff.
They're cutting jobs. So has the government really become smaller?
First, let's look at the government's own figures. During the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year, employment in Quebec's core civil service fell by 3,106 full-time equivalent positions. It dropped from 80,411 the previous year to 77,305. That is a decrease of approximately 3.9%, exceeding the government's original target of cutting 2,000 positions.
More than 3,000 positions gone. It sounds like the government really did make some cuts this time.
Not so fast. To determine whether the government has truly become smaller, we cannot look at just 1 year. We also need to see where it started. In 2018, Quebec's core civil service had approximately 68,618 full-time equivalent positions. By the 2024 to 2025 fiscal year, that number had risen to 80,411. Over 7 years, the system added 11,793 positions, an increase of approximately 17.2%. After the latest reduction of 3,106 positions, the total still stands at 77,305. In other words, compared with 2018, there are still 8,687 more positions, an increase of approximately 12.7%.
So first it gained 17 pounds, then it lost 4. And announced, "Everyone, look. My weight loss program is a success."
We also need to distinguish between several different categories. The core civil service mainly includes government departments and certain agencies reporting directly to them. But Quebec's much larger public sector also includes healthcare, schools, universities, municipal governments, federal institutions, crown corporations and other public bodies. During the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year, the core civil service reduced its workforce by 3,106 full-time equivalent positions. But public bodies outside the core system still employed the equivalent of approximately 530,708 full-time positions, an increase of 1.1% from the previous year. Among the agencies specifically targeted for reductions by the government, 434 positions were indeed eliminated. But major systems such as healthcare, education, higher education and government enterprises were not included in these reduction targets.
3,000 positions disappear from the left pocket, while the right pocket keeps getting fuller. Then the government holds up the left pocket and announces, "See, my clothes are lighter now."
If we include the federal, provincial and municipal levels of government, along with public healthcare, education, crown corporations and other public bodies, Quebec had approximately 1.12 million public sector employees in 2025. The province's average employed population was approximately 4.64 million. That means, out of every 100 employed people in Quebec, approximately 24 work in the public sector. That is nearly 1 public sector employee for every 4 employed people.
Line up 4 workers, and one of them is paid from the public purse.
Based on Quebec's population of approximately 9.03 million, there is roughly 1 public sector employee for every 8 residents.
1 public employee for every 8 residents. If we gather 8 cats in our house, can we establish our own government department?
But an important clarification is needed. Those 1.12 million people are not all administrative civil servants sitting behind desks. The figure includes many nurses, teachers, doctors, care workers, police officers, firefighters and other frontline public service employees. So the real question is not, are there simply too many people working in the public sector? The real question is, does a public system of this size provide residents with a comparable level of service?
1 public employee for every 8 residents sounds like a luxury service package. So why do we still wait to see a doctor, stand in line to complete paperwork, and listen to hold music every time we call?
The unit used by the government is called a full-time equivalent, or FTE. It measures total working hours. It does not necessarily tell us how many people actually left their jobs. For example, if an employee reduces their workweek from 35 hours to 32 hours, the reported number of full-time equivalents will decline. The government's measures have also included freezing some recruitment, limiting overtime, leaving positions vacant after natural departures, and allowing employees to voluntarily reduce their working hours. Therefore, a reduction of 3,106 full-time equivalent positions does not necessarily mean that 3,106 civil servants were dismissed.
So the people may still be sitting in the same offices, just working a few fewer hours each week, while the spreadsheet loses weight first.
Streamlining government cannot be measured solely by counting fewer positions or working hours. We should also ask: have government departments been merged? Have duplicated responsibilities been eliminated? Have layers of management been reduced? Have outsourcing and consulting costs increased? Have total spending on salaries, benefits and pensions actually declined? Have public services become faster and simpler? If the workforce shrinks but the total payroll continues to rise? If permanent positions disappear but outside consultants are hired to replace them? Or if frontline workers are cut while management and administrative procedures remain unchanged? That cannot be called greater efficiency.
Cutting the people who serve the public at the counter and making everyone wait longer is not streamlining government. It is streamlining the public's patience.
Objectively speaking, the Quebec government did reduce employment within the core civil service during the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year. That should be acknowledged. But compared with 2018, the core civil service is still approximately 12.7% larger. At the same time, employment across the broader public sector has not declined across the board. Therefore, what the government has demonstrated so far is only this: employment has declined under certain statistical measures. It has not yet fully demonstrated that government institutions have truly become smaller, public spending has actually declined, or administrative efficiency has genuinely improved.
Real weight loss is not about stepping on the scale one fewer time. Your waistline has to shrink, your appetite has to decrease, and you should be able to run faster than before.
So in our next episode, we will continue asking: after reducing these positions, how much money did the government actually save? Or did salaries, benefits, pensions and outsourcing costs eat up all the savings? Next episode: fewer employees, so why has government spending not declined? We are Blackie and Meow. See you next time.